Hello and welcome to Super Taco Crew. This is a pretty old visual novel, but that I had been meaning to read, but I just wanted to get permission from Decker Wolf, who is the creator of the visual novel, as you can see down below, um, to make sure that I could read it for YouTube, because sometimes paid visual novel developers don't like it when you read their stories, because, you're taking money away from them. But he gave me the go-ahead, and yeah. So the only thing I know about this visual novel is that the fox up here in the middle, kind of down on his luck type of person, resorts to thievery in order to make ends meet most of the time. So I believe he ends up stealing something that he shouldn't, and then, hilarity ensues. And this visual novel is complete. So when it ends, it ends. I do not know if it's linear or if it has choices, or choices that matter, I should say. So yeah, we'll find that out eventually, I guess. But anyways, I guess without further ado, let us begin Super Taco Crew. Normal, because you can't have adult stuff on YouTube. It's another day of high school, the first morning class. Automata, which was a new required class for graduation, robots, computer science, and machine learning all roll into one. Students pour in, greeting their friends and chatting about the latest gossip. Edgar sits quietly in his desk at the back of the class. I hate this so much, but I've been skipping too many days. I don't want to get in trouble again with Mom. Good morning, class. Another wonderful day to discuss robotics history. Kill me now, please. Suddenly, the class door swings open. A husky male wearing a Letterman jacket hurries inside, breathing heavily. Sorry, Miss S. I was running late. No problem, Jonathan. Please have a seat. Jonathan walks over, looking embarrassed, and takes a seat in front of Edgar. He's here. I was hoping he wouldn't be here today. Edgar feels his heartbeat faster. I hate this feeling. The husky sits in front of Edgar, occupying his view completely. Edgar gulps. His massive back muscles and broad shoulders cascade down into big, husky arms. Still breathing heavily, his torso expands and contracts with every breath. His arms. I wonder how they feel. I wonder if they're soft or hard. And what would it be like? What would it be like to be held in them? He felt his pulse quicken at that thought. Edgar, once you're done staring at Jonathan, could you answer the question, please? Jonathan quickly turned around, looking embarrassed, and turned back. A few of the others let out hushed snickers. Edgar felt his face get extremely hot. Sorry, what was the question? The teacher sighed. What is the first principle of modern robotics? Okay, I lied. I already did this. But I picked this the first time. It was wrong. I picked this the second time. This was also wrong, even though the answer basically says to better society. So I'm going to pick this next. To create self-sustaining machines? Yes, that is correct. Robotics are useless if they cannot operate independently of us. I'm surprised you remembered that, Edgar, considering you spent all day staring at boys. You know, Jonathan is straight. He doesn't like you. Edgar couldn't believe what he was hearing. The entire class was in uproarious laughter. And he's out of your league anyway. He's a pretty popular guy. The laughing went on and on, droning in his ears. Edgar put his head down, not daring to look up. I wasn't staring. Jonathan was probably laughing at him too. He didn't dare look. Jonathan, Wait, something's wrong. I can't move. What is this feeling? Huh? Edgar blinked slowly, coming out of his dream. He was sweating profusely. He shoved the covers off and sat at the edge of the bed. What a horrible nightmare. I mean, it happened, so maybe I should say a horrible memory? It's a good thing that I'm not in school anymore. He thought about Jonathan. In the dream, he was every bit as cute as he remembered. Ugh, forget high school. It's been long enough anyway. Why am I dreaming about it? Edgar checked his phone. Oh no, I'm late for work. Damn it. He looked around his small apartment, trying to do everything at once. They're never gonna live this down. He stuffed his work clothes into his backpack. Screw it, I'll change over there. As he was about to leave, there was a knock on the door. Ugh, not again. With a sigh, Edgar opened the door. It was a landlord bot again, because of course it was. Hello, tenant. This is landlord bot. Beep boop. What do you want? I am here to inform you that it has been 7 days since rent was due. I know. Payment is required now, Edgar. Look, I'm getting paid today, okay? Processing. Edgar waited and tapped his foot. Command not valid. Start over. Look, I'll pay the rent today, okay? Just leave me alone, please. Affirmative. Have a great day, Edgar. The landlord bot walked with clanks and whirls down the hallway and out of sight. I hate robots. So useless. He walked through the door hurriedly and ran. Chapter 1. Halcyon. The eternal night sky was as dark as ever, with lights blooming in the streets. Edgar rushed to the place where he worked. He was a waiter at an upscale bar and restaurant. It wasn't the best place. In fact, he hated his boss. It seemed that Edgar could do no right in his eyes. Rushing towards a place he hated, life was funny sometimes. Come on. He felt the cold, manufactured air in his lungs. All right, here. Edgar rushed in, breathing heavily. It was still early, so no customers had arrived. The dear bartender was looking forlorn, wiping down the counter, which was already pristine. His boss, a badger, was standing at the bar. He turned around, looking like his usual angry self. Where have you been? Your shift started. He looked at his gold electronic wristwatch. 24 minutes ago. Sorry, I overslept, and I think my alarm didn't work. I don't care. You're fired. What? But... I can't have workers doing whatever they want. You need to learn your place in the world. I've never been late before. I haven't even been late once. This is the first time. Not my problem. I can hire some other idiot to take your place. The bartender shot a defeated look at Edgar. And you don't even have your work clothes on. What a joke. I brought them with me. Get out of my sight. Give me one more chance. Please, give me one more chance. I won't screw up again. No. Now leave before I call the cops. Okay, I'm going. Edgar left, feeling anguished and angry. As he walked out of the door, he spotted a hefty-looking rock. Nah, you don't want to get into more trouble. Nah, he'll get what's coming to him. Karma, as they say, is a bitch. He walked home, his head in a daze. Edgar closed the door and leaned against it. He walked over and sat on his bed. Rent is due. Overdue. Damn it. I can't afford one more month, even in this dump. I better find a way to make money fast. Maybe I can get a job and ask for an advance? Well, I might as well go have a look around town. Maybe there's a miracle job opening somewhere? If not, then... He shook his head. He sighed, grabbed his backpack, and walked outside. Edgar walked down the streets outside the apartment. There were a lot of shops nearby. There's so many places here. Let's see. A donut shop? Nah, I think I gain 100 pounds. Haircuts? I hate talking to people, or having awkward silence. Grocery store clerk? Maybe? Is that really what I'm gonna do? Suddenly his phone vibrated. Oh, it's James. Hey, what's up? Well, I just got fired, so there's that. Oh no! I'm sorry, dude. It's alright. I hated it anyway. I just need something to pay the rent with. Know anyone who wants a fox with no skills? I don't know anyone who's hiring. Have you tried looking online? Nah, my resume sucks. Plus, I'd rather find something nearby. Well, hopefully there's an opening somewhere. Let me treat you to some lunch. What would you like? I don't care. I'll have whatever. What are you craving? Tacos, obviously. Obviously. Sounds good. See you there at noon? For sure. Edgar smiled and put the phone back in his pocket. James was his friend that he met on social media. They both liked the same cartoons from childhood and discovered that they lived near each other. He was the only real friend Edgar had since he arrived in the city. Well, I guess I'll see James in about an hour. Let's go apply it at that grocery store. Later around noon. Okay, finally made it. Edgar entered the restaurant and looked around. A few scattered people sat and ate, and he spotted James near the back. Hey, James! Hey! James got up and gave Edgar a hug. He smelled nice, like cologne. I waited till you got here before I ordered. You know what you want? Yeah, I'm ready. They went to the counter and placed their orders. Edgar got a super burrito and James got 3 fajita tacos. After a few minutes, the orders were ready and they sat back down with their food. These tacos are out of this world, man. I never get tired of these mega stuffed burritos. They sank their teeth into their food. James let out a soft moan. So good. I can't deal with how good this is. I think I'm gonna die of happiness. That or pork fat. Worth it though. Worth it. They scarfed their food down, barely talking in the meantime. Finally, after a few minutes, it was all gone. So, you should totally get a job here. You think so? So you can give me free food? Huh, no thanks. I've had enough of the restaurant industry. That bad, huh? Yeah, you wouldn't imagine how terrible people treat you. Like, you're not even a person. I never treated anyone poorly. At least I hope not. All it takes is one person to ruin your day. I hated it. Are there that many rude people out there? Well, it's not just them. I think it might even be worse when people treat you too nice. Too nice? Yeah, like they baby you and act like they're such good people for treating you with a shred of respect. It's honestly really insulting. I hope I don't come off that way. Nah, don't worry about it, you're fine. James shoveled in his seat. So, did you find any other places to apply to? I tried applying to the grocery store, but they're not hiring. Oh, really? Yeah, it looks like they're replacing more jobs with robots. Wow, that sucks. What am I supposed to do when the robots take over? Good point. I don't know. Edgar sighed. You said you needed rent money, right? I could lend you some. Nah, don't worry about it. Are you sure? I don't mind at all. It's alright. I have some money stashed for a rainy day, so that should cover it. Edgar looked away. It was a complete lie, but James was way too nice to back down. Well, okay. Well, let me know if you need it. Don't worry, I will. How's everything going with you? Everything's great. I've been watching a show on Netfilms called Lupin Nexus. It's really good. What's it about? It's about a wolf who gains knowledge of his past lives and discovers that a secret evil organization rules the world. Each of his previous lives he worked to defeat the organization, sometimes coming close but always failing. So he's determined to make it come true this time. Cool. Kinda sounds like the vague memory that I have of Assassin's Creed, where like the Templars are like the evil organization. That sounds pretty cool, actually. Yeah, you should definitely check it out. I don't have Netfilms though. Oh, don't worry, I'll send you my account info. You don't have to do that. James pulled out his phone, typed some stuff, and put it down. Edgar felt a buzz in his pocket. Well, now you have the info, and therefore you have to watch it. Fine, I'll see when I can. So, what are you gonna do the rest of the day? Not sure, maybe run a few errands? What about you? Edgar fidgeted with his paws. I'm gonna go back to work. Back to dealing with more difficult customers, as usual. James took a big sip of his water. I can't wait to go home, but I'll hit you up later, okay? Yeah, sounds good. They got up and James once more hugged Edgar. It was nice to be held, even by a friend. They went outside and said their goodbyes, and split off. What Edgar actually planned was more than errands. He had one very specific errand to do. Something he had wished that he wouldn't have to do again, but the time had come. Edgar walked at night, sipping a coffee and listening to music. Mom, you always sat down to drink coffee at night because I wouldn't be able to sleep. But I don't think I'm gonna get much sleep anyway. He walked in the streets, not really sure what he was looking for. Buildings and parking lots passed him by. They all seemed so monolithic and lifeless. A concrete jungle reinforced with steel and shattered dreams. He walked outside a truck stop. Outside, there were a few trucks parked near each other. One of the trucks stood out. It was a new fancy model Edgar had never seen before. It was on, but there was no driver inside. Maybe they're on a break? Something stirred inside him, like a rush of excitement. I think this is it. Something tells me I'm getting lucky. He walked casually behind the fence, ensuring no one was around. His feet made barely any noise as he had trained to do so. His ears perked up, registering any sounds, wary of witnesses. Edgar crawled under the truck and opened his backpack. He pulled out his old black mask. It felt so nice and soft in his paws. He put it on slowly. I don't know why, but this feels so right. Even though I shouldn't. He stopped himself, overthinking never got him anywhere. It had been a while since he did this. The thrill came from the bottom of his stomach, and he felt it pulse to his fingers and toes. He pulled out his only valuable possession, his tool of the trade. A special knife capable of cutting almost anything in a fraction of a second. He hadn't fully tested the limits of it, but it had come in handy many times before. I know I shouldn't do this, but... He shook his head and crouched, walked to the front of the truck, looking around. If he was going to steal, this was a good target. A store usually had much more security than a truck, and a truck could conveniently drive away, obfuscating the scene of the crime. He noticed a few workers stacking boxes, but they were very far away. Okay, here goes. He looked under the truck and found a small wire. He could hear a small hum coming from it. The security system. Same as usual trucks. Maybe this truck isn't so fancy after all. He cut the wire and the hum stopped. Easy peasy. Edgar moved to the back of the truck. He took out the blade, now glowing red, and swiped at the back door, easily cutting through the lock mechanism. Quickly opening the door barely enough to get inside. There's nothing inside? It was almost empty except for a large box at the very back of the truck. It almost blended in with the featureless gray of the interior. He rushed over to it, taking out his knife. He stabbed it on the top and started cutting into it. The material was incredibly tough, perhaps reinforced steel of some kind. Come on. Come on. He slowly sliced through it, creating a hole. Almost there. He pushed the cut circle in, and it fell with a loud thunk. It was a solid inch. The inside of the box was empty. You gotta be kidding me. Wait. It was a tiny little box, almost invisible inside the dark container. Something you might store a piece of jewelry in. What could this be? He pocketed the box, then immediately he heard something outside. He sneaked back and looked outside. He could see flashlights bobbing up and down, headed this way. Of course, a secondary alarm system. I'm such an idiot. He jumped outside and dashed under another truck. There, I saw him! Edgar's heart raced. He ran, ducking and staying under the trucks. He could hear the people behind him running across the gravel. A gun started firing rounds one after the other. Everyone sounded like an explosion in his ear. He heard the bullets hitting the dirt near his feet. This way! He's over here! Edgar felt panicked, helpless. He ran for his life like a frightened animal. Quickly coming up was the fence. He braced himself. He jumped and scaled the fence quickly, dropping and immediately taking off again. As he ran, he heard more gunshots. He kept running and breathing in and out, feeling his legs tire. He ran through the darkness of the streets, skulking into an alleyway, over another fence, then over a car onto another street. He moved quickly, silently like a silk scarf floating in the wind. Edgar ran into the back of an alleyway. He breathed quickly, the adrenaline pumping through his veins. He stumbled behind some trash bags, his breathing shallow. He felt everything start to go dark. I can't breathe. Well, what do you think? Mom, I don't want to apply to college. But we can apply for financial aid. I don't make too much money, so they'll help us. I'm not good at school, Mom. You just have to apply yourself. Make time to study. No matter how much I study, it never seems to stick in my brain. I've told you 100 times. I know. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Mom, you need to go to the doctor. You don't look fine. It'll pass, don't worry. You said that for months now. Well, I won't be around forever. You need to do something, mijo. I don't know what to do. It's okay, sweetie. Take your time. It's beautiful, isn't it? The ocean? Yeah, I miss coming here. Me too. It's a nice day. Yes, very nice. Lovely day. Hey, what are you doing? Get up. Edgar shuddered awake. He panicked, shuffling backwards into trash bags. What are you doing sleeping in my garbage? In the garbage? Oh. Edgar looked around. He felt a wave of unfamiliarity. Sorry. I just, kind of ended up here. That's all I get? You're not very talkative, are you? What's your name, kid? I'm Edgar. You work at the taco place, right? Yep, and you're in the back of said taco place. My name is Rick, and I'm the proud owner of Super Tacos. The red panda looked Edgar up and down with a grin. Say, you were in here yesterday, right? I overheard you saying you needed a job. Guess you really fell on some hard times? Rick eyed the piles of trash. Yeah, you could say that. And what's with the silky mask? I don't think you're fooling anyone. Impossible. He can see through my disguise? He must be some sort of telepath. Right, sorry about that. Rick shook his head. You know, I need a new cook. I'm always willing to help those who want to help themselves. You want me to be a cook? Yeah, you got cook written all over you. I can smell it. Have you ever worked in a kitchen? Well, I was a waiter in my last job. Perfect, that's plenty of experience. Be here tomorrow at 9 a.m. Rick walked to the back door. Wait, I don't know. 9 a.m. He opened the door and closed it with a squeaky thunk. Edgar was at a loss. I'm lucky to even be alive, after what happened last night. I'd better get back home. I'd love to get a bit of rest on my actual bed. He reached instinctively for his phone and felt the box in his pocket. All right, the box. He thought about the box he stole. He almost didn't want to open it, in case it was booby-trapped or something. Booby-trapped? Pretty unlikely, but I think I'll wait until I'm back home. Edgar walked back home, occasionally looking behind his back to make sure that there was no one following him. Finally here. So tired. Edgar tried to open his door but failed. What the? Hey! He tried opening it with his electronic key but failed. Tenant Edgar has been evicted. Please leave the premise at once. What the hell? I can pay now. I have a job. Leave the premise immediately. But all my stuff. Please leave immediately, Edgar. Not without my stuff. Exit the premise, or I will notify police. Damn it. Attack landlord bot. I've had enough of you, robot. Edgar pulled out his searing knife and stabbed the robot in the face. It fell to the floor, sparking and zapping. Exit. Suddenly it stopped. Edgar then knifed the door where the lock was and cut through it. He kicked open the door. Alright, gotta be quick before the police gets here. He grabbed some money he had hidden and some clothes and stuffed them in his backpack. He ran away outside, back into the streets. In the distance, he heard thunder. Ah, perfect. Guess I better find somewhere to stay. Maybe James would let me stay? I mean, he is your friend and he seems to be really wanting to help you. He felt embarrassed at asking, but where else would he go? He called James. Ring, ring, ring. Hello? Hey, James. Something bad happened. What's wrong? I got kicked out of my apartment. What? Yeah, sorry to bother you, and it's totally cool if you say no, but can I stay over tonight? Of course, dude. It would be so much fun. We could have snacks and watch a movie. Edgar thought that it wouldn't be that much fun, considering the circumstances, but he was glad that he could rely on James. He felt like some of his previous so-called friends wouldn't have given him the time of day. Alright, I'm coming over, okay? Sweet, see you in a bit. James sent Edgar his address. It wasn't far from him. Edgar walked to James's apartment. With the light rain starting to drizzle, despite his situation, he felt some degree of comfort. Edgar knocked on the door, and a few seconds later, James answered. He immediately hugged Edgar, and then took one good look at him. You look awful. Wow, tell me how you really feel. Sorry, just, come in. James's apartment was huge compared to Edgar's tiny room. He had brand new furniture and cool toys on the shelf. It was nearly spotless except for cans of soda and granola bar wrappers here and there. So, what happened? It's a really long story. Perfect, I love long stories. But before that, let's get you dried up. James signaled Edgar to the bathroom. Alright, thanks. Edgar quickly dried himself off and changed into the spare clothes he had brought. He was thankful to at least be dry again. He started feeling better. He walked back out and saw James sitting on the couch. Edgar took a seat as well. It was nice and comfy. Oh, you want a soda or something? Maybe just water? I'll just have water. James got a cola and Edgar a glass of ice water. He sat back down on the couch. So, what happened? Well, basically, since I couldn't pay my rent, they kicked me out. The robot did, that is. Dude, I told you that I could lend you some. I know, I just didn't want to be a bother. So you didn't have any money stashed away after all? No, I mean, I was planning on getting some. How do you mean? Edgar looked into James's eyes, then looked away. He was so compassionate, one of the kindest people Edgar had met. He just wanted to spill everything. Alright, but don't tell anyone. And don't judge me. Okay, I'll do my best. Edgar relayed everything that happened last night, including the theft, the box, and the escape from gun-wielding maniacs. Wow, dude. I know, it's a lot. That's just... You could have died, all over some measly rent money. Well, if I scored really big, I could have been set for months, years even. I know it sounds dumb. It doesn't sound dumb. I just don't know how you can risk your life like that. Well, usually it's not that risky. There was some kind of special alarm on the truck. I thought that it would just get some valuables and pawn it. Not to mention stealing is illegal. You could get thrown in jail for who knows how long. I know. But don't judge me. Besides, rich people don't need so much stuff. What's a tiny loss for them? Well, I guess I can't argue with that. And hey, we both like Raven Cap. He steals from the rich too, remember? Yeah, and he gives back to the poor. I want to do that too someday. I mean, think of how many people I could help. I guess you're right. I just want you to be careful. Money isn't worth dying for. I know. I'll be more careful. So, there's one thing that I want to know. What is it? What's in the box? Oh, I totally forgot. I haven't opened it yet. Seriously? Why not? I was waiting for the right moment. I guess this is the right moment? Edgar reached into his backpack and produced the small black box. James stared at it with distrust, like it might suddenly explode. Well, here goes nothing. Edgar slowly opened the box. What is it? I don't know. It was like nothing Edgar had seen before. A small golden triangle. He carefully grabbed and turned it slowly, admiring the shimmering square patterns inside. What was so important about this thing? But something about it mesmerized Edgar. The colors, the way the light bounced. It was beautiful. The colors were so vivid, cutting straight into his mind's eye. He saw the yellow of sand dunes in the desert, with golden sun beating down on him. He felt the radiant heat on his fur. The wet cold, roaring seas, and he was floating under the ocean weightless. He landed in a hot, veteran jungle. The damp moss was cool under his toes. He then was floating through a field of flowers, flying into the mountains. He felt the winds envelop him, soaring higher and higher into a sea of clouds, falling into the soft embrace of the warm, endless sky. Suddenly his whole body jumped. Edgar! He was laying back on the couch. Edgar, are you okay? Edgar opened his eyes, seeing James over him. What? What happened? Oh, thank goodness. I don't know, you just fell over and passed out. Edgar sat up and rubbed his head. He still felt a little floaty. Are you okay? Do you want to go to the hospital? No, I'm fine. Just, when I looked at this thing... Edgar picked up the triangle from the floor. I had like a vision, I think. A vision? Yeah, like I saw the whole world all at once. It was so peaceful. I think you need to rest for a bit, okay? Yeah, Let's just put the triangle away and just relax. Edgar nodded his head and put the triangle back in the box. What the hell was that, anyway? They spent the rest of the evening speculating on the triangle, what its purpose was and why it was being transported. Maybe it was a secret device for the military, or some sort of alien technology. Edgar had no idea. He knew it was dangerous, but he couldn't bring himself to throw it away. It felt too important. But what should he do with it? He slept that night on James's couch, his mind wandering to sleep, floating in those clouds again. Edgar woke up, yawning. He checked his phone, 8 a.m. Alright, the taco job. Rick said to be there at 9. With all the excitement, he forgot about the job offer. Might as well give it a shot. After all, if I don't like it, I can just quit. He quickly peeked into James's open door. He was strewn out across the bed, face down, and snoring. Must be a heavy sleeper. James had said Edgar could stay as long as he needed to. Edgar was feeling grateful, especially after being thrown out. He decided to hop into the shower. Edgar stepped inside and turned on the faucet, the warm water from his head down to his slender body and to his toes. Ah, that feels so good. It had been a while since his last shower. He loved feeling clean and hated his fur being matted and dirty. After his shower, he dried himself up and put on his clothes. Guess it's time for work. Hope it doesn't suck. Edgar arrived at the taco place. It was somewhat busy with a long line of animals waiting to order. The cashier, a slender Cheetah, was fiercely counting dollar bills and putting in order tickets. A large dragon came by from the back of the restaurant. Order up. A dinosaur came up to grab her order, 2 giant bags full of what smelled like breakfast tacos to go. Jeez, who needs that many tacos so early? You'd be surprised, breakfast tacos are ultra popular, one of our best-selling items. Edgar turned around and saw the red panda from the other night. Sorry, I didn't realize that I was talking out loud. Don't worry about it. So I see you took my job offer? Well, I guess it won't hurt to try it out. Aha! I like your spirit, kid. Rick produced an apron from his pocket. Well, let's not waste any more time. We got a lot to teach you. Before Edgar could figure out how the panda kept the apron in his pocket, Rick came up to him and secured the apron around him. Wait, how much do I get paid? You get paid 5 tacos per hour. Wait, what? Haha, I'm only kidding. I will pay you double the minimum wage and bonuses if the restaurant does well. That sounds pretty good, actually. Well, let me introduce you to the rest of the crew. Rick brought Edgar over to the cashier. This is Jessie. She is our customer service specialist. Jessie, this is Edgar. He's our new cook. Nice to meet you, Jessie. Nice to meet you, darling. She went back to taking orders and counting change. Don't mind her. She can work a little too hard sometimes. Edgar followed Rick past the counter and into the kitchen. The kitchen wasn't too shabby, but had clearly seen years of use. The large red dragon from before stood at one of the large stoves, flipping tortillas and stirring piles of meat. Now this is where the magic happens. This is where we make the most perfect food known to animal kind. Rick grabbed the tortilla from the stove and put some meat on it. With a quick set of motions, he grabbed some nearby onions and cilantro and poured green salsa over it. The soft golden brown tortilla, the fajita seasoned with salt and pepper, the onions and cilantro, the salsa. He took a bite from the taco and made a very pleased face. Magnifico! Well, I actually don't like cilantro. It tastes awful to me. Of course you can customize it in infinite ways, but this is the basic taco that you will be making. So, hey, I'm Edgar. Sorry, I didn't mean to be rude. This is our head cook, Ari. Ari, this is Edgar. It's a pleasure to meet you, Edgar. The massive dragon extended his claw and Edgar shook it. His hand was warm and incredibly soft. He didn't expect that. You guys will be working together now, so get to know each other. Do you have any questions, Edgar? So, what am I doing exactly? For now, just help Ari with assembling and delivering the tacos. Once you're comfortable, you can take on cooking duties as well. Oh, okay, sounds good. Excellent. I will leave you fine men to it. Rick walked out, whistling some oldies tune. Yeah, he's a little much, I know, but he's a good boss. He seems nice, and this seems like a cool place to work. I've just never cooked professionally before. Don't worry, it's hard to screw up tacos. The lunch and dinner rush can be exhausting, but now it's the two of us, so it should be easier. Ari gave him a warm smile. Well, let's get started then. Ari showed him the ropes. Basically, Edgar just had to read the orders, grab the toppings, and combine them into a taco or burrito. It wasn't too hard, although seeing all the delicious food he made was tough. He hadn't eaten breakfast after all. He worked all day, completely forgetting his previous troubles. Ari was really nice too, offering help whenever Edgar couldn't decipher the writing on the tickets. Finally, after a long day, it was closing time, 10 p.m. Ari and Edgar cleaned the kitchen, ensuring that it was spotless as possible for the next day. So, I was wondering, what's my schedule like? Well, I work every day, but you should come in only 3 days of the week. That doesn't seem so bad. Yeah, we just needed a part-time cook to help me out sometimes. I asked Rick because working by myself every day can suck. I can imagine, it's tons of work. Yeah. Ari finished wiping down the counter. Now that the kitchen is clean, I was wondering if you wanted to help me demolish these. Ari produced a large tin-foil mass, presumably full of tacos. Yeah, that sounds good. I'm starving, actually. Let's go to the back. I want to get some fresh air. The night was fresh and cool. Aside from a car noise every now and then, it was mostly quiet. Ari sat on the porch and Edgar sat next to him. So, what did you think about today? Well, it was a little crazy, but it's not bad overall. My old job was worse. How so? I was a waiter at an upscale bar/restaurant. The other staff was cool, but the boss was such a jerk. No matter what I did, he was always pissed off. That sounds tough. What kind of job did you do before this? Well, this is actually my first job after I dropped out of college. What were you studying? I was in business school, and my dream was to start my own business, but I never really figured out what kind of business. After the first year, I felt like I wasn't actually learning anything, but I was racking up debt like crazy. So I quit. Wow, I'm nowhere near smart enough for college. I was really bad at school. Everyone's good at something. Don't be down on yourself. Edgar's stomach made very loud rumbles. Sorry, I forgot about the food. So hungry. Ari unpacked the tacos in between them. They both started eating, Edgar scarfing the tacos down. Oh, my goodness. These are unbelievable. Thanks. It's actually a secret tweak that I made for my own tacos. I'm glad that you liked it. So, what would you normally do on a night like this? Edgar wiped salsa from his lips and licked his fingers. I don't do much these days. I guess playing video games or read stuff on the internet. Oh, me too. What kind of games? I like role-playing games the most. I like a good story. Like Ultimate Illusion? I haven't played games like that, but they sound cool. I like action games a lot. Action games? That's pretty broad. You know, like tomb searching, exploring, travel around the world kind of games. Those are cool too. Yeah, maybe we can hang out and play sometimes. Yeah, I mean, be nice to your coworker, plus, that doesn't sound bad. Yeah, sounds good. Awesome. I'll let you know when. They keep eating and talking about stuff. Edgar had a nice, warm feeling. Even though he was used to being alone, sometimes he met people that he didn't mind being around. Well, looks like the tacos are all gone. Ah, that was so good. Thanks again. Anytime. They both got up and Ari threw the foil in the trash. Alright, it's been a long day. Let's get out of here. They went their separate ways, waving goodbye to each other on the street. Edgar opened the door and went into the apartment with James's keycard. Hey James, I'm back. You here? Hey! James came out of the bedroom with a grin on his face. Nice apron, man. Oh, I forgot I had this on. I walked all the way back like this. He quickly took it off. Keep it on. It's cute. No way. It smells like grease. Edgar plopped himself on the couch. Ugh. All of a sudden, he realized how tired he was from standing all day. His legs weren't used to it. So tell me, how was your first day? James sat down next to him with his ears perked up. Well, it was alright. Just really tiring. I'm just taking orders and plating the food while Ari cooks it. Who's Ari? Oh, he's the head cook. He's this really big dragon dude. And there's also Jesse, the cash register, and a red panda named Rick, who's the owner. I've seen those guys before. They seem nice enough. Yeah, definitely. The owner's a little crazy about tacos for some reason. He really likes tacos. Well, maybe he likes you too, since he gave you a job out of nowhere. Heh, whatever. I'm pretty sure he's straight anyway. Edgar felt himself blush a little. Don't worry, I'm just teasing. So, what have you been doing? I went to work today, but had to work late. Just came home a little before you did. What do you do again? Honestly, explaining it is really hard and I'm sure that I'd bore you. Try me. Okay, well, you know how there's different component supply manufacturers for a single product? Yeah? So, we insure each component so that if one supply does not come through, we can have our network of other supply manufacturers cover in the event. Edgar starts snoring loudly. Hey! I almost died. James gave him a playful shove. Whatever, I told you it's boring. I'm sorry I didn't heed your warning. Anyway, I spent all day thinking about the golden triangle. Oh yeah? I completely forgot about it with the new job and all. I have a friend that's kind of a nerd. A nerd? Yeah, I don't really know what else to call him. He knows a lot about a lot of stuff. If anyone can figure out what this thing is, it's definitely him. But why do you want to know? What if it's something really awesome, like alien technology? We could be the first to have this new tech, or sell it and become rich. Edgar looked at him with a raised eyebrow. I don't know. I mean, who would buy such a thing? Well, we can't just ignore it. Opportunity doesn't just come every day. I thought you didn't approve of me stealing. I mean, it's in your possession already, so it can't hurt to know what it is. I guess as long as we're careful. I don't want to attract any attention, though. That's the spirit. I'll text him to ask him to meet up. Maybe tomorrow? Yeah, I'm free tomorrow. Cool. Edgar gave a big yawn. I think I want to go to sleep, though. I'm beat. It's been a long day for you, huh? Alright, get some shut-eye. I'll be in my room if you need anything. Oh, and I forgot one thing. James reached into his pocket and gave Edgar a keycard. I made you your own keycard. Don't lose it, okay? Oh, thank you. I don't know what to say. No problem. I know you do the same for me. James' smile was warm and kind. Alright then, I'll leave you to it. Good night. Good night. Edgar stuffed the keycard in his pocket as James turned off the light. He lay down on the couch using a cushion as a pillow. The tired fox fell asleep almost instantly. He dreamt of serving tacos to golden aliens aboard a spaceship. Edgar woke up laying face down. Ugh. He felt drowsy and tired, and his mouth felt dry. The previous day wore on his body. I need a shower. He stumbled over to the restroom, bleary-eyed and half asleep, scratching himself. He took a quick shower, dried himself off, and started the coffee pot. I wonder if James is still asleep. The door was slightly open, so Edgar peeked. He was laying face up, and snoring softly with drool running down his mouth. Man, he's a heavy sleeper. I guess I'll just relax for now. Edgar decided to just browse social media for a while. After a few hours, James got up. How'd you sleep? Pretty good. I was so tired from yesterday. I could tell. So you still want to hang out with Max today? Yeah, is he coming over? I was thinking of inviting him to the coffee shop. Oh, well, I'm already making coffee, but I could always use more. Alright, let me text him. James texted his friend and got a response a few seconds later. Okay, he's down for it. Also, he's bringing another friend of ours. You'll like them. They're cool. I should bring that triangle, right? Is it safe to take it? I think it'll be fine. No one will even know what it is. Yeah, I guess you're right. Here we are. Looks spiffy. You're gonna love the coffee here. They have a great mixed blend. Oh, and they make homemade donuts too. Now that I've gotta try. Oh, they're already here. Let's go over. James led Edgar to a table with a big bear and a thin otter. Hey guys, this is my friend Edgar. Edgar, this is Oscar and Max. Hey, nice to meet you. Hey, yeah. Nice to meet you guys. Right, it's coffee time. They each got some coffee, except for Max, who got a hot chocolate. Man, this coffee is great, isn't it? Yeah, it's actually pretty good. It's a bit light for my tastes, but not bad. So, can I see it? Max's eyes were blazing with excitement. Edgar paused mid-sip. Oh, sure thing. Hold on a second. Edgar looked around the coffee shop, feeling a little paranoid. He took the box from his pocket and handed it to the otter. Max smiled from ear to ear. He opened the box very carefully and his eyes went wide. Wow! This is... What is it? Max cleared his throat. Well, I did a little bit of research after James told me about it. There was nothing on the public web about anything like this, which is strange. The otter carefully removed the triangle from the box. Wait, what are you guys talking about? It's a long story. Basically, Edgar, found this thing and he wanted Max's help to find out what it is. Oh, so what is it? It's, well, I'm not exactly sure, but I did make some posts on the dark web asking if anyone knew. What did they say? I didn't get a lot of replies. Most people were perplexed at what I was even talking about. But I did get one good response. Max took a sip from his lukewarm chocolate. Someone once worked for a company that produced experimental computer chips. They said this resembled another prototype that they had seen, although nothing exactly like this one. So that thing's just a computer chip? Well, I think so, based on the appearance anyway. If you look closely inside the green part, you can see the tiny controllers in there. Tinier than modern computer parts, actually. He took his phone out. I'm gonna take a picture of it. It might help my research. If you don't mind, that is. No, go ahead. Don't worry, I'll remove all metadata so that it can't be traced to us. Max took a picture of it and stashed his phone away. Then he carefully put the triangle in the box and handed it back to Edgar. Whatever it is, it's definitely valuable. It's no ordinary chip, that's for sure. Man, I don't know anything about this weird computer stuff. I'm more of a car guy myself. Really? Do you work on them? Yeah, I have a custom car with a modified engine. I used to work on cars with my dad, so I know a bit about them. Too bad it's not a flying car, though. Those are really expensive. Only top military personnel have licenses for that. So unfair. I want to go flying. Maybe one day, they'll let us common folk have all the fun toys. Well, I'd like to see your car sometime. Yeah, we can take it for a spin one of these days. That would be fun. Count me in. Whoa, who invited you, James? Oscar raised his eyebrow and smirked. Whatever, I didn't want to go anyway. Oscar laughed. Haha, I'm just joking. I have room for everyone. Oh, not me. No way. I get carsick real easily and I know you guys are sticking me in the back seat. Well, you're the smallest guy. I need leg room. Hey, I'm not that small. I'll just carry you in my pocket. You'll be nice and warm. They all laugh except for Max, who looked a little embarrassed. I'm just kidding. You know I love you, Max. Oscar gave Max a hug and a pat. Grumble, grumble. So mean to me. Grumble. What a beautiful friendship. Anyways, let's exchange numbers, yeah? Just so that we can keep up to date. Okay, sure. Edgar exchanged numbers with Max and Oscar. Alright, I think we're gonna head out. What are you guys gonna do? I'm gonna go back home. I have to do more research. But I do have a gaming campaign that I have to DM first. I'm going for a drive. Then I'm gonna break open some beers at home. Nothing crazy. What about you? Oh, just gonna watch some movies or something. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. Probably be lazy. Yes, being lazy sounds good. Let's go. See you guys. See ya. Bye. They left the coffee shop and walked back to the apartment. Well, make yourself at home. I'm gonna go to my room to find a good movie to watch. You can join me if you want to. Sure, why not? Awesome. Edgar followed James into his bedroom. I've been wanting to watch this one horror movie. You don't mind horror, do you? Okay, but if I can't sleep at night, it's your fault. They both sat on the bed and James scrolled on the TV. He selected a movie titled Signal. The movie was about internet ghosts, people who would sit in front of the screen and a ghost would infect them, rendering them into useless zombies. Edgar found it rather creepy. So, just using any computer device can turn you into a zombie? Kinda reminds me of some people that I knew in high school. Ha! Touché, friend. They finally finished the film, which ended with one of the characters escaping with their friend who had seen a ghost and could no longer move or speak. Wow, what a ride. It actually stressed me out, with the crazy music and everything. I felt the same, so scary. Great movie though, I enjoyed it. Oh, it was pretty long too. It's bedtime already. Wow, you're right. I was thinking, since that couch isn't very comfy to sleep on, you just wanna sleep here? Here on the bed? Edgar felt himself blush. Don't worry, I won't bite. Unless I'm having a gnarly dream, then you better watch out. Edgar laughed. Okay, yeah. I'll just, sleep here then. Cool. Let's get ready for bed. They each brushed their teeth and went back into the bed. The bed was so much comfier than the couch. Edgar felt enveloped in softness. Good night. James fluffed up his pillow and lay down with his eyes closed. A few seconds later, he started snoring. Edgar smiled, seeing James so carefree and happy. Good night, James. If Edgar could only have some of that peace and happiness. He closed his eyes and slept. Chapter 2, Sentinel. And that's where I'm going to leave it for today. So, I like the music. So yeah. So, we got to meet most of the cast, I guess, for now. There's obviously James, there's Ari the Dragon, there's Oscar the Bear, and there's Max the Little Otter. So, I take it that James likes, the fox. I mean, sure, friendly, hey, why don't you come into my bedroom and watch movies with me? I mean, he might not have a TV in his, living room, but still, come on. Curious about the little triangle that, the fox stole. What is it exactly? What implications does it have for him and James's life? Because, I mean, James is harboring a criminal, so, if something is coming for the fox, it's coming for the both of them, so yeah. I wonder what Max will discover, if anything. And yeah. I'm curious to know what other types of tacos they sell too, because I've never seen cilantro on a fajita. Well, on a fajita taco. I've seen... The only time, and you can quote me on this, the only time that I will eat cilantro is if the tacos are al pastor, which is like that little, it's like that pork and meat that you see on that little roll. It kind of looks like that, the meat that they put in gyros. Like you have to cut it off, but this is pork and it has the little pineapples on top sometimes. And the only way you can eat it is, with cilantro and onion, which, is how they serve them. But they're serving fajitas, they're not serving al pastor. It's probably because I like spicy food. Anyways, but yeah, so how do you like your tacos? Yeah. So, write down in the comments stuff. And thank you all for watching / listening. If you would like to play Super Taco Crew yourself, you can find it over on itch. And you can find a direct link to it from the creator's Twitter page, which I will link down in the description, which, you can see right there, it's Decker Wolf. And if you don't have Twitter or can't use Twitter, then, just go on itch.io and look up Super Taco Crew. Remember, this is a paid visual novel though, so if you want to play the full thing, you do have to pay the $5. Otherwise, either just watch my video or... oh well. But yeah, they do have a demo, which you can play, but, I'm reading it here, so... yeah. Just give them the $5 and play it yourself. Come on, don't be cheap. Or you could, donate to my coffee. It's up to you. I'm not, pressuring you. It's not necessary. It is welcomed and appreciated. But anyways, so yeah. I guess that's it for now, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.